Howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk. You would think that when you're traveling for work and you're the president of a truck driving school and you're adding a fifth campus in another state, that it would be hard to find time to make a video.
But not today.
Today, I'm going to make a nice short video to kind of get rid of a myth. I saw a question in a Facebook group the other day, and I understand that the question was from a newer investor. And these kind of questions are good because it at least points out that they're thinking in the right direction. The purpose of my content is to help that newer investor. I want to teach the average individual that you can reach financial freedom in 10 years or less and make work completely optional, even if you're not starting from the best position. That's what I did. I wasn't in a great position, and in about 8 years, I made it so I never have to work again ever in my life. Now I'm trying to share that information with you. So this person was asking a question, I think it was in the Real Estate Rookie group, which is a BiggerPockets Facebook group. They asked, why invest in real estate if real estate appreciation only keeps up with inflation? And as a newer investor, taken out of context, that can probably make sense. Historically, the Fed wants 2 to 3% inflation. Their goal is to have that inflation every year. The federal government is about $30 trillion in debt. And with a little bit of inflation, it's actually easier for them to pay off that debt in the future with inflation. So as an investor with cash flowing, appreciating assets, I also like inflation and appreciation, but not too much. None of us want hyperinflation. That's not good for anybody. Over a long enough historical period, people will point out that inflation averages 2 to 3%. House appreciation averages around 5%. So it's a little more, but not a lot. In the last 2 years, we've seen 7 to 10% inflation because of the pandemic, right? Not good. But we've also seen 19 to 30% appreciation on property values. So let's take out the most recent years and just look at a long historical period. If inflation were 3% and average home appreciation is 5%, we'll balance it out. Say that this person's concept was true. If inflation is 3% and home appreciation were only 3%, we'll average it out to the same. Over a long period of time, we know that if we have money sitting in the bank, inflation is 3%. The bank is paying us currently 0.02% in most cases. So you're losing value of your money. Next year, that same amount of money will be able to buy less things. That's what happens with inflation. If we take the money and we put it into a property and the property were to only appreciate 3%, matching inflation, that means next year we could buy the same amount of stuff. So we didn't lose money. So this meme that makes the question on Facebook is not inaccurate. If real estate appreciated at exactly the same pace as inflation, it is a hedge against inflation. But it's out of context. Rentals pay you in 4 ways. Here's the magic. You're keeping up with inflation, so you're not losing value, but cash flow. My rentals, first year, I have 16 rental units, 7 properties, and the first year I buy them, my goal is to shoot for a 10% cash on cash return. So if I invest $100,000 into a property, I want to make profit after everything, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, setting aside for maintenance, repairs, and vacancy. I want to profit $10,000. That is a 10% cash on cash return on my investment of $100,000. So far, I've done it every time. One has been really close, like 10.02%. Most are in the 12%. 2 or 3 years after owning a rental property, because mortgages for the most part stay the same and rents increase because of inflation, I'm now averaging over a 20% cash on cash return. So cash flow. And then this appreciation, the home that we're buying or the rental that we're buying that is appreciating at 3%, keeping up with inflation. Second form of magic, leverage. I invest $100,000 into a $400,000 duplex. I don't just get 3% on my $100,000. So I don't make $3,000. I get 3% on $400,000. The bank doesn't get the appreciation from the total value. They just get the interest on the loan. They don't even care what the value of the property is worth after I have the mortgage. So now I'm getting 3% of $400,000, which is $12,000, not 3. The third form of magic with rental properties is every month, part of that principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is principal. The tenants are paying off the mortgage. I own more equity in that property than what I invested every single month. And because of amortization, every month, the amount you pay in interest goes down and the amount you pay in principal goes up. So over time, more principal pay down is happening every month. And then the really cool thing with this is this extra money, the 4 times of the appreciation coming in, the cash flow, because of these things called depreciation and write-offs, is virtually tax-free. And if you use technical terms, it is a delay in those taxes. When we use depreciation, we're delaying paying those taxes. If we sell, we can use a 1031 exchange to even delay those taxes further. If we own or occupy a property for at least 2 years out of the last 5, we can have capital gains of up to $250,000 each. So if you're married, $500,000 tax-free. And then there's the stepped up tax system. So even if I delay the taxes until the point where I die, so I never technically paid the taxes, then people are inaccurate. 2 things that aren't certain are death and taxes. I have delayed these taxes beyond my death. There's this thing called the stepped up tax system, which resets the depreciation schedule on those assets for my kids who inherit my properties, meaning they don't even pay the taxes that I delayed. So when you're on Facebook and you see something like, why invest in real estate? Because appreciation only keeps pace with inflation. That is taken out of context. I hope this clarified this for you, and it was a nice short video that I made while I was traveling for work. Thank you. Until my next video, thanks for coming to my Dion Talk.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I understand small business growth. I was one.